But no one who is actively performing the behaviors of an order follower in that moment is a good person. No one. Zero. Blanket statement. There's another thing people hate. The human ego hates absolutes, ladies and gentlemen. They hate absolutes. When you say 100%, no exception to the rule, always works this way. People in deep ego hate that. Because deep down inside they hate truth. And when they hear hardcore, unwavering, indisputable, eternal truth, they hate that most of all, because the ego hates the absolute. It wants everything to be relative. The ego wants to find the tiny little exception, always searching for it endlessly, when there is no exception to an absolute law. Doesn't exist, cannot exist, will never exist. That's the power of the ego, ladies and gentlemen. It gets into the mind, it takes root, and it says, there has to be, this can't be this way. It has to be a different way. Because that would mean that everything I've been led to believe is a lie, and I was wrong, and I can't admit that. Natural law does not care what justification somebody offers for immoral behavior. It's a computer program, folks. I don't know how much more clearly I could put it. It's the other thing people don't understand. The universe is based on law. Unwavering law that doesn't care why you did what you did. It only says, did you do this? And it was immoral. It was based on coercion. It was based on violence, and you had no right to do it. Yes or no? Well, if yes, here's the consequences. If no, here's the other consequences. That's it. It's a computer program of pure logic and law. That's why it's not called natural suggestion. The laws of nature are not suggestions. They're unwavering, absolute laws that work 100% of the time, flawlessly at all times and places, everywhere in nature. Everywhere in the three-dimensional space-time continuum that we refer to as the universe. And people don't want to understand that. Because they want their mind to be God. They want their justifications to prevail. They want things to work the way they want it to work instead of the way it actually does. They can't get their ego out of the way. Because my father or grandfather was an order follower. And like I said before the break, the Nazis said the same thing, folks. So did every other totalitarian regime. You think those people didn't have mothers and daughters and sons and fathers, etc., that somehow offered justifications for all the things they did? People can't see they're in the same situation. You're in no different situation than that. As a matter of fact, it's a continuation of the same people from the Prussian schooling system that became the Nazis in Germany, that came over here as part of Paperclip and settled on throughout the whole United States. Tens of thousands of Nazis being brought in to avoid war crime tribunals, so they would come to work for this sick criminal government. We're talking about order followers, the continued justifications that people want to offer for their behavior, and how people are lashing back against people that are tired of all of the crap that is going on with order followers in the modern world and starting to push back. And these people are out there defending the Nazis, saying, hey, cops, call a crackhead the next time you need help, on a shirt in image number 7. And I was reading my response to this. So just basically saying, I don't want the help of a cop in any situation. And I've said many times, if I'm dying, I would rather die than accept the cop's help. Yeah, is that an extreme attitude? Yeah, I don't want cops to exist, period. I think it's a completely flawed axiom that anybody ever, anywhere on the earth, started a police force. Because what a police force is a barrier against the understanding of natural law. And I'll say that again. All police forces everywhere on the earth at any time in history are barriers against the understanding of natural law. Because by attempting to abdicate the responsibility and duty to defend yourself and the people around you in your community from totally immoral behavior, and you're saying, I'm going to place this into somebody else's hands. What goes on then is the immoral behavior builds up in that society, and we expect these other people to sanitize it and remove it and take it away from us. And we want to live just having these people segregated from society in prisons, and then we go on still not teaching morality to our children. And they think that they're the solution. They think that more cops are the solution. And they think they're doing something good, when in effect what you're doing is preventing the learning of natural law. Which is why I've always been an advocate of don't have any prisons. Don't have any police forces. We need to find out just how bad humanity is. Let's find out what we have become. And then stare it in the face and do something about it. Without fear. And embrace the chaos that will happen as a result. See, that's the ultimate psychological factor that lies underneath. People are afraid of chaos. Because you're going to find out just how much you shirk your responsibility. And then you're going to have to look at the room and realize it is completely a mess beyond our wildest imaginings. And it's nobody else's responsibility to clean it up than us. This house is a wreck. It's in ruins. And we still want to try to pass off the responsibility to somebody else by saying, it's your responsibility to protect me. It's your responsibility to, defend me when I need self-defensive force. It's nobody's responsibility but themselves, especially in an age where firearms exist.